Hi.
Hello. Congratulations on the film. I loved it. And I just love the fact that there's such a sense of adventure and warmth and a proper old-fashioned storytelling. I really enjoyed it. So congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you. Really
you.
pleased to hear you say that. Thank you.
I can't wait to see it again with my niece and nephew. I'm very excited about that idea. So Jenny, I have to go to you first. After all these years coming back to Bobbie, was it something you were excited to do? Were you a bit nervous about bringing her back, or tell me about that?
I really, Railway Children has meant quite a lot, and in my life, because it's, I was given a kickstart in my career by the Railway Children. So when this came up, I was very interested to see what they were going to do with it. And I love the idea of actually creating a completely different story, of being at a different time, and enjoying Nesbitt's work as much as I have done. I thought that she would approve of seeing Bobbie grow up, and because her world is the pre-First and Second World War. And this gives one an opportunity to see how the world has changed. And it's 1944, it's the Second World War. And so it's a much more difficult world than the world that the Railway Children belong to. This Railway Children returning to a more difficult world. And I like the opportunity to revisit in that way, just as a person. Also, I like it when you go back to something and you re-look at something and you mark the time by doing so.
Yeah, then for you, Sheridan, then I'm assuming you probably grew up with the story like myself. So for you then, what was it like not only setting foot on the platform literally, but playing Bobbie's daughter? How did that feel?
Oh, I was very nervous actually when I first went up there, but everyone was so welcoming. I'd seen the original obviously with my family, and so we were thrilled when I got the phone call that I'd be playing Jenny's daughter, and it was just an incredible experience. It was so overwhelming, the costume design and all the little kids were, and the main Railway Children, they're a gorgeous little gang of friends, and it was a beautiful shoot to go to, as well with this kind of countryside as a backdrop. It was just a really special film.
I spoke to the kids earlier, and one of the things I love in the film is that they feel like real kids. I mean, in the film, there's this great sense of energy between them, and talking to them earlier, they have that such a great sense of friendship and mischief as well. So what was it like working with them? And did you do any workshops or rehearsals to kind of create that sense of fun and bonding with them, or was it just a case of go for it and see what happens?
No, do you know, there was a lot of improvisation, and Morgan, the director, did that with the kids, but the kids were already formed, weren't they, when we arrived? They were
I was
proper
interested to know whether
friends.
you had been part of any of that, but I know that they did a lot of rehearsal before the film started shooting.
Did they?
So they have been they were in a bubble together. They did lots of rehearsals. They worked on their scenes. I mean, I remember one day, one of the children saying to me, "What scene are we shooting next?" And I thought, well, that's so different from my world of knowing exactly what you're going to do and then know your lines for that day. They knew the whole script. They knew the whole story. They entered into it as though it was a game that they were going to play. Oh, we're going to do that scene. Oh, that'll be fun to do. And when they did there was a fight that they had with Doe, they were allowed to do whatever they wanted to do at that moment in time. And it has a lovely turnaround with Sheridan coming into that. And then I was told by one of the children, I thought she was really cross with us.
Yeah, that was the killjoy. But no, it was magical what they managed to capture from those kids.
Yeah.
And you see them today, like they're always cuddling little Zac, aren't they? Like they're a proper little group of friends, and you just want to go on an adventure with them. So they're perfect.
I think they use their imagination so well. They know how to use their imaginations to create the character, to be in the time, to be involved in that world. And that's what's so lovely to be involved, to be with, because you can't help but to step into their world, because they're there. They've created it. It's happening.
It's quite contagious in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely.
The word contagious anymore, but in a good way. Tell me this then. What I think is lovely as well, there's a sense of nostalgia there, but it never goes into kind of smulch or kind of sickly kind of sweetness. Was that a balance that came in from the script, or was that just a way that it came together? Because it's just very finely balanced.
I think it has to be, in a way, that's very much a director's job at the end when they put the material together, to make sure that it doesn't become mawkish or any of those things. Nostalgia is such a weird thing, isn't it? Because it's about drawing on experience, remembering something, revisiting, looking at it. And it has to do with anticipation, and emotional changes that are happening. Yeah, but it is something that's created, I think, afterwards. It's there in the scenes, and the only thing is you're not playing nostalgia. You're not playing. Except that I suppose to a certain extent, when there was the first scene in Railway Children when I'm asked about, do you remember what it was like, and it is a question that makes me think, yeah, I was on this platform and there's a whole life happened in between, and that is a nostalgic moment. But of course it's not, it's something that they might use, but they're not going to draw on and make more of than it was as a moment.
Well, I'm getting the wrap-up sign, so listen, thank you
Oh,
so
are
much.
you? Okay.
Really enjoyed it, and best of luck with the release. Like I said, I love the film, so congratulations.
So pleased you like
Yeah,
it.
thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Aw.